So, as Charlie mentioned in the Patreon, which you wouldn't have listened to because you aren't one of our pay pigs, Zach's not here, and we're...
What a way to start to just fire that off. Like, hey, listen here, you fucking piece of shit.
I'm just kidding. We love you all, and I'm going to give you a little forehead kissy to prove it. No. Zach's not here, so we've suddenly become a visual podcast, which is fine because I know how to put visuals in the podcast player. So you're
I'm not saying anyone's podcast player who received this is going to be able to see them, because podcast players are boring and featureless unless you're cool and have found a good one. But
I like Overcast. It's nice.
We'll
it's
put
free.
all
I've
the.
been real into Podcast Addict myself lately.
Ah.
I use Antenna Pod because I can get one off the F-Droid store, so it doesn't have any of the Google shit built into it.
Nice. Well,
hell yeah. We
do have a visual for you. Happy post 9/11. Happy Boxing Day 9/11 edition.
Which is when we're recording. Yeah.
Happy, I don't know, is it Anthrax Memorial Day yet?
That's like in
any day now, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's like in a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken. That's like maybe 9/15.
I'm not sure. I'm just excited to open all the mystery boxes that I placed under at my doorstep the night before.
Can't wait to get all of those.
The patriotic kids get visited by Toby Keith. The non-patriotic kids get visited by Dick Cheney.
And he thinks you're a fucking pheasant and shoots you in the face with some deer shot.
You know, that's just how it happens. Yeah.
Well,
so what are you showing us here that is visual?
Well, I've put it into the general, and for you, dear listener, you can see it now if you have a podcast player that sees things, or
we'll definitely put it in the link.
yeah, you can find it in the fucking spectrograph. Yeah,
but and if you're someone who cannot see very well,
if you're driving and aren't cool enough to also operate your phone at the same time, don't worry, we'll describe it.
You got a little bit of a buzz going, like.
And
you got some very important texts to send.
Yeah.
It's a school zone.
Well, this is a tweet from Jerry Dunleavy, who is DOJ
How do I know that name?
and investigations for the DC Examiner. He tweeted out Navy flag, American flag, and McDonald's flag still at half-mast here on 9/12 at Gitmo.
Oh my God, that's the Gitmo McDonald's.
And
Jesus.
Gitmo McDonald's. Don't mind if I do Gitmo McDonald's.
And
God,
shit.
they probably made that. Someone probably made that joke after horrendously torturing someone.
Probably, yeah.
And just, I don't know what distills America more. That the only thing that's needed is a fucking Mickey Mouse next to the Ronald McDonald statue waving, and there is indeed a Ronald McDonald statue waving.
It's in the eat outside penned in area underneath a roof covering, so you can eat outside while it's raining, I guess. And it's just looking in at you, just waving. It just stares you down as you consume his burgers.
After you've tortured some 16-year-old Afghan boy because you suspect him of terrorism, when he really is just a sheep herder or something.
I mean,
just like a random kid.
Yeah.
I mean, really, fatty, salty foods are good when you've exerted yourself like that. It's like being high, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you do use a lot of calories, both mentally and physically.
I can't. I have a joke that I can't get myself to make because it feels too cruel.
No, let's work it out. Let's workshop this. Yeah.
I was just thinking kink jokes. No, McDonald's would be a great food for top drop. I can't make myself I said it. I made myself do it, but I have to preface this that I'm not proud of myself.
I'm sure there's you know what? There's a feeder joke in here too. It's fine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, God.
So
what?
Yeah.
What salute your local. I just love the McDonald's flag at half-mast. What the fuck?
I also like the American flag is on a taller pole with an eagle on top of it, and the other two are just regular poles with a little ball at the top of it, which means the Navy flag and the McDonald's flag are sort of equal.
Equals, yeah.
Underneath American Empire.
Look, I respect those who, some gave all gave some. and all gave the unfortunate news that the ice cream machine is not working today.
Wait. Some gave all gave some, and in America, you can get a burger for merely one.
Well, have you heard that? Like, there's an economic theory that no two countries have gone to war with one another if they have McDonald's's.
So you're saying that. Well, right, but at what point did all of those countries also get nukes?
No, but what I'm saying is, like, when they got McDonald's, it came with the McDonald's. That's why America, like, that's why the Navy flag and the McDonald's flag are on equal footing here. It's because they are equal in our protection in protecting
the communist. The Communist Party wins like an election in Russia by some just against all odds and starts to come back, and like a McDonald's there that has been inactive for decades just cleaves in two and opens up, and a nuke launches from under it.
And falls then directly straight back down.
Yeah,
it's like, motherfuckers, so you knew the consequences. You knew what was going to happen here.
It's not so much that they have a nuclear missile there. They just sort of have a large slingshot underground waiting to be thrown.
But yeah, that's exactly. Both the United States Navy and McDonald's are protecting our borders in ways that you don't understand.
These feel like pretty half-assed, half-staffed. This looks like like 2/3 staff, honestly.
Yeah, this is pretty low. Like, do they think someone's gonna fucking steal the flag?
I know what it was. If they actually lowered them to half staff, they'd be clipping into the ceiling over the covered area.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They put them at 2/3 staff because they can't lower them down. They put flagpoles somewhere you can't lower to half staff.
See, what they need to do is they just need to see. But it would be amazing if they could put it at half-mast. Because then Ronald fucking McDonald would be in front of the American flag, and like you shoot the photo from the inside, and it'll look like Ronald McDonald is waving at you with a happy smile, and fucking the American flag is at half-mast,
just grinning at you maniacally after having personally lowered the flag to half-mast.
After personally committing acts which necessitated the flag to be.
Oh god!
I mean, honestly, they have to lower the flag to half staff in Gitmo every single time one of the torturers dies of like coronary clogs.
Overexerting themselves. Yeah.
I was thinking of just like too much fat in the veins, just heart attack.
I was gonna say
dying of fucking hot dog.
McDonald's induced thrombosis.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
I haven't done this in a while. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Dennis, he, they.
I'm Bo, he, him.
And I'm Charlie, she and her.
And guess what? That's just it. That's us.
That's all.
Yeah.
We had cutbacks.
Dennis, I gotta say, yeah, it's been a minute since you did the intro, and that was absolutely lovely.
Aw, thank you.
You fucking stuck the landing, pal.
Mm-hmm, thank you. Our podcast big sister, Zach, is not in today. He is having a sabbatical. I don't know.
Just a vibing day. You know, like some people go real hard on Fraser Crane Day.
If I know Zach, he's spending his day on like 3 CBD gummies and playing Destiny.
That's what vibing is.
Well, like a professional, I may have gotten absolutely trashed on 9/11, but I'm still here.
I saw somebody had like set up, hey, we're gonna be observing moments of silence throughout the day at these various like points in time where like the planes hit, the tower falls, stuff like that, those alarms. And all I could think was like, man, if you really wanted to make this just absolute dudes rock, fucking take a shot at each one of those alarms.
Oh my god! And it's well before noon.
Oh yeah, because it starts off at like 9 o'clock, I think.
No, and here on the West Coast, that's 6 a.m. Like that.
Oh yeah, no. If you adjust for time, yeah, you're waking up. You're waking up for sun up there, buddy.
I was you know what? I was already partying on the Friday. Like, I'll just stay up.
Yeah, just carry on to
this is just hair of the dog at that point.
I went to a bar that had set out a beer for every fallen comrade on 9/11, and I finished as many as I could, like a true hero.
And you're talking about 9/11, in Allende, right?
Chile, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
I
many. That's beers.
I went to the communist themed bar here in Denver, which actually you shouldn't ever go there. They wouldn't let the Communist Party meet there because it's entirely aesthetics, and they actually hate communists.
Oh,
That's really corny. I love it.
dog
It's
shit.
so it
That's
sucks so
stupid.
much.
Sucks so much ass.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid.
Talk about a place to walk a tap.
Yeah.
So fucking great. All right.
It's like, I'm sorry, this is the consequence of the free market. I'm well within my rights to just fucking not pay you. I don't give a shit.
I wonder if they're even still open at this point. They must not be.
I mean, that's
Who
the
the
kind of
fuck knows?
bar probably to have stayed open since March of 2020.
I don't know. You don't think
So-
like a lone gunman boomer burned it down thinking it was genuine?
Thinking that was Antifa headquarters, yeah.
That'd be so sweet. That'd just be the Schadenfreude.
That would be. they rethemed as a a kitsch czarist bar after the Antifa thing started getting real big press.
Well, so it's funny you mention that. There's actually a bar here in Austin that's essentially both of those.
Oh
It's called
God!
Russian House. Well, it's just generally Russia themed. So it's got a whole bunch of, like Civil War shit, a whole bunch of revolution shit, a whole bunch of Soviet shit.
Just like not really
and a whole bunch of
understanding.
Czar shit.
Oh.
Well, no, it's just
So
like,
can you
hey,
actually learn
Russian
history?
history's fucking neat, huh? Like, that's the way you fucking stick the landing.
Right,
Yeah.
Not-
Like, didn't you study Russian literature?
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with
Yeah.
some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, such greats as I don't know who did the Gulag Archipelago.
Solzhenitsyn.
Yeah, greats like Solzhenitsyn and Nabokov.
Yeah, you said that,
Uh-huh.
Pussy, right? Yeah.
Dostoevsky. That's all I've ever read, actually.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Great.
And Kafka. But that's about
wait,
it.
Kafka's Russian?
Is he Russian? I don't know. No, he's German. Never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds real
I was saying
weird.
Franz is definitely a.
Oh,
Russian.
that's right. His name is Franz. All right. I only ever say Kafka because it's a funnier word.
So he's
to say.
French, right?
Yeah, he's French.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because his name is French.
Yeah.
Alright, that's stupid.
All right.
Right,
You know,
This
Russian
article
Kaf-
that we're
Ka-
rushing on into next
Kafkov.
Kafkov.
is from Texas Public Radio. This is how we celebrate 9/11 down here round our parts.
In Tejas.
Down here, yeah, south of the, I guess, Oklahoma border, and many other state borders. If you really want to get fucking pedantic about it. Anonymous hacked the TexasGOP.org website, basically replacing a lot of their just, boilerplate kind of, hey, we're a political party with a hegemonic grasp on a state kind of website stuff with, for one, a picture of a crowd of mudkips, which I really adore.
That's
Yeah.
pretty great. Yeah.
That's great.
Like what an ancient meme. But more pertinently, a bunch of stuff about, hey, Texas, your whole abortion bill shit is just absolute dog shit.
Mhm.
Here's Operation Chain. This is what we're doing. It's a kind of cyber activism campaign to make shit difficult for anti-abortion weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, Anonymous does weird, like, they like to poke their head out when it's like I guess sometimes a good thing. Like, this is great. Like, this website
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
need
that's
to
the
be
thing.
up.
It feels like a time capsule from 2006 or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Operation
It's
Chainology
like,
kind
wow,
of
you're
stuff.
still around.
Uh-huh.
Not to make myself sound too old.
But, like,
yeah,
you
like
know-
when they'd be sending black faxes to like Scientology HQ, that
Mhm.
kind of shit.
Well, it would
Real
be like
hackers on steroids shit.
it would be like if on 9/11, like Wall Street became like an autonomous zone because Occupy has actually been working in the shadows for a decade.
I would love
Yeah,
that. That would be
yeah.
so great.
That would actually be cool. Do that.
Come on, Occupy, get it together. Anonymous is still around.
Yeah, so I really love too the way that Texas Public Radio describes what all they did in terms of just this digital graffiti kind of move they pulled. For several hours, the website carried an anonymous banner across the top of the page, a Rick Astley music video, a lewd photo, and a statement saying the party is committed to taking away women's rights.
Lewd
lewd
photo.
Specifically
Yeah.
Goatse.
That was actually
Goatse, our old friend of the show.
This is from 2006. Oh my god.
It is. No,
yeah.
You know what's great?
They're fucking like sleeper agent Manchurian candidate kind of fucking guys who they get an email that says I heard you like mudkips and then spring into action. It's awesome.
It's so good. I will say, you know what was cool? September 11th, 2021 was the first time I'd ever actually seen the original Goatse.
Oh, hey.
It's not like an edit or a meme.
Yeah, I've only ever seen memes and edits.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I got it. I get it now.
Uh-huh.
I kind of got it before. I didn't need to see it, but I did.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I've seen worse in porn at this point anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen
absolutely.
One Guy, One Jar.
I've not seen that.
Y'all remember like 2015 when Vaporwave was a big music genre? Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Here, let me look through my fucking camera roll and see what else.
Oh, I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put Goatse and One Guy, One Jar in the metadata for this, like in the tags for this. This is gonna be great. Honestly, we should just put Goatse as a hashtag in all of our episodes.
In every episode, yeah. That would really drive engagement.
Hey.
So they on one of the pages replaced the text with the Republican Party of fucking over women mission, which I assume was the mission statement page before. We're committed to taking away all the rights of women so we can live our prosperous, Bible-thumping dream. We really, really love The Handmaid's Tale and wish to enact it to its fullest. Football!
God, this is fucking Jon Stewart shit. This is 2006.
It's absolutely Jon Stewart shit. It's again a time capsule from 2006.
Is Anonymous just a bunch of like 40-year-old Democrats?
Yes, I think it is.
Be. And you know what? As long as they're on the right side in this, more power to them.
Yeah, because like 15 years ago, they were like in their 20s doing shit from like college.
And now it's like a guy who like franchises vape shops and in some suburb does not work a single day. So all he does is he plays like a defunct MMO from like. Oh no,
not defunct. He's still playing WoW.
He's still playing WoW?
Absolutely.
I was thinking he's playing like Hellgate London on a private server.
Oh, I was gonna say like maybe ESO,
Diablo
maybe.
2.
Or like WildStar. No, y'all gotta get more like esoteric with this. Not these big names.
Okay, fair enough.
Dwarf Forge, maybe?
Dwarf Forge?
Mm-hmm.
What is Dwarf Forge?
Isn't that the thing that that Minecraft was ultimately based off of?
Oh, Dwarf Fortress.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
that's...
It's
that kind of, arch neckbeard kind of shit,
just something completely in ASCII.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the mission statement continues. If you were dumb enough to support Donald Trump, we can get you to do just about anything. Now shut up and help me hog-tie my sister. It's breeding time.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
And then there's a big button that says Ted Cruz, the Zodiac Killer. And then if you scroll down just a little bit more...
No, now you're just making up a meme. This is ridiculous.
No, that's... I'll send y'all the fucking picture. But yeah, a button that says Ted Cruz, the Zodiac Killer, and you scroll down just past that, it is Goatse, which whoever I got this screenshot from has tastefully cropped it just above the bud.
Oh, that's great. I won't be including that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Just above the bud, the Goatse Review podcast.
You just look at people's blown out assholes.
Yeah. It's like that Till Death Do Us Blart one the fucking McElroys do, where they rewatch Paul Blart as like a Thanksgiving tradition. I think. Yeah. I forget exactly what it is, but it's that. But we just revisit Goatse.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over again.
Yeah, just stare into it deeply.
Wait, let's start a Twitter account. It's like dog rates for like prolapsed anuses.
Yeah, they're all 11 out of 10. They're all
heckin' good fucker.
Brent. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, now that we've thoroughly alienated any potential audience.
Oh God, can you imagine what the hacks that they're gonna do with these sites in like 20 years are gonna be? It's gonna be that shit.
I can't wait for the internet to have smell-o-vision.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Actually, I do have to mention this. I'm not gonna link this because it was very graphic. But Sam did show me earlier today a tweet of a guy in a bathroom with his hand.
Oh, I saw that
covered in-
one.
Just his hand covered in blood, and he's like, "I fisted someone at the Christina Aguilera concert," and I was like, "Oh no!"
I saw
And-
that. It was just like, what the
No.
fuck
And then
does that?
That's hellish.
And then based off of the rest of his Twitter account, it did seem like that's just something he does. So
Wait,
that is the dark-sided part of this, because
you find an itch and you stick to it.
because
Wait.
Goatse guy, he was doing that for fun, and he was a trained professional.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
an expert.
fisting the ass without lube on a dance floor is his thing.
No, just
Is
fisting.
that what I'm hearing?
No,
Just
just
in-
fisting.
Fisting
So-
anything.
Oh, yeah, or it seems like boys mostly. Like
So probably.
Yeah,
Men
it's
around
like
his
anything
age.
just
Well, I
sounds
was
like,
like,
it's like punching holes in walls.
Yeah.
It's like well, you don't get that much blood out of like just like doing that's so much blood.
Maybe he didn't cut his fingernails. I don't know. I don't want to look
That's
at
so
the picture again.
God.
Oh, every part of this is unpleasant.
Anyway.
Oh God, can you imagine getting COVID from that?
Oh no.
Well, it's a respiratory illness, so
Yeah, but you could probably suck it up through your butt. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, just coughing directly into someone's ass to give them COVID. Yeah.
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 So in another portion of the website, I think they replaced the search bar with "Search nothing, you asshole, lol Goatse," and the contact info just below that is the Republican Fucking Americans Daily Party of Texas, PO Box 911. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Bush lied, people died. Phone 1-800-FUCK-YOU. Disclaimer: hackers on steroids are 10 times more effective at romance than 100% of Republicans. Trans demon hackers are coming to get you. Abortion is a choice.
I
mean,
I
that
actually do
part is
believe
kind of
these-
true.
Yeah, I also do believe that these men are probably on steroids. But-
Oh, absolutely. You know, hackers on steroids. Again, classic fucking meme. That's ancient. That's
Yeah.
like cockmongler old.
It's as old as Goatse.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's not quite "You're the man now, dog."
Yeah.
Shit like that, but close.
Uh-huh.
Finally, is the copyright thing at the bottom of the page. They did copyright anonymous, no rights reserved. Taxpayer dollars wasted by the Republican fuck all women party of Texas. Happy September 11th.
I mean, hey.
Okay.
You know,
Reason for the season, honestly.
yeah, I mean, glad
none
that the
of-
execution happened, but it's sloppy. Sloppy execution.
None of us have any.
It could have been funnier. It could have been a little better. It's a little bit, as you said, Jon Stewarty.
It's
but
Jon
shit, it's
Stewart.
cool.
I'm personally a fan of the flooding the tip line with Shrek porn that they were doing.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that was
great.
grassroots. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's definitely that's a modern takedown right there, and I like it.
Also, this is just one guy who like probably was an anonymous at some point, and he just was.
That's
free
true.
On he just like he didn't have anything to do on Saturday afternoon, so he's like, let me just do this. This will be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know what? Good on you. Like,
And you know what? It seems like it was fun. I mean, I had fun looking at it.
I had fun.
We had fun discussing it.
Yeah, I had fun discussing it. It does sound great.
I'm glad I've seen Goatse at least once now. Now I
Hey.
can die.
Yeah.
Not happy, just die.
Now you can die. Yeah.
Yeah, I could die now.
Exposure
I was
to Goatse was the one thing, keeping you, or rather, not being exposed to Goatse was the one thing keeping you on this side of the dirt.
It stresses
Now
it
it's
stresses
like,
me
who
out to
fucking
go
cares?
out on like dates with people and wonder, are they gonna ask me about Goatse and I'm gonna just pretend like I've seen it?
Well, now
What if they find out? What if they don't ask me for like 10 years if they've actually seen it and it's been a lie the whole time?
Uh-huh.
Imposter syndrome, but for like old
Memes.
fucking internet
Yeah,
shit.
like Tub Girl, Blue Waffle.
I was on the early internet. I went to Lemon Party once.
Once.
Well, if you go more, see, here's the thing about Lemon Party. Those are just some men having fun. Like that.
Yeah,
it's
that's just older people.
It's just
That's just white boy summer, baby.
yeah, like I like.
It's not summer. I can't keep saying this.
Yeah, I mean, it's still summer. It's summer until like the 21st.
It's the hottest
cool.
days of the year in my fucking state. It's summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I live in Southern California. It's gonna be about 90.
It's always summer.
It's gonna be
yeah.
about 90 degrees until Christmas Eve.
Cool.
Yep, it's great. I'm glad I don't have to do Thanksgiving again because, God, I hate being in a house with an oven on, wearing a sweater despite it being, 90 degrees.
Yeah, you've got a big old fucking, you got your sweater, you got your apron, you got your big old oven mitts. and a steaming soy turkey that's just radiating heat.
Yep.
That just literally melts your face off,
Mhm.
heavy metal style.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you get tits out of it, but
Yeah,
you're hot, but not
down
the kind you
face,
wanted.
Up to tits.
Yeah.
That's a trade I'll take.
Yep. God, I do love a tofurkey though. They're very good.
They are very good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You ever had a tofurkton? It's like a turducken, but
No,
tofurkey.
I
So
haven't.
it kind of defeats the point.
I don't know what that's even supposed to be, and that doesn't make
Oh, a
any sense.
turducken?
Well, I know what a turducken is, but like
Yeah, where you jam a fucking
Well-
turkey
well-
and a duck in a chick.
a turkin, you know.
See. Speaking of old internet shock videos. Anyway, yeah, no,
Just
And that
what-
was-
that'd be great.
yeah.
that
What do
was
you? What do you?
Oh,
Yeah, go
what was
ahead.
that, Charlie? Oh, no, I was gonna say, and that was our taste of Texas.
Yeah.
And that was our oh, and you got a full taste, baby.
Uh-huh. Barbecue sauce. That's
We,
Texas, right?
We grabbed that Texas news and we tore it open wide so you can see in the inside what's going on in that state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just like a glass jar, it shattered into the your ear anuses, and now it's leaking out blood. This is terrible. Just like my student loans. There you
Speaking of being fisted somewhere you don't want to be,
Uh-huh.
student
There
loans.
you go.
So, Business Insider brings us the longest headline I've probably ever read in my life.
This is quite something.
And so I'm just going to go ahead and read the headline. Biden's vow to fix the student loan mess is about to get a big test as two companies shut down and leave millions of borrowers hanging. His education department, quote, needs to deliver on its promises, end quote, an expert says. That's so long.
This is the opposite of burying the lead. It's literally just using it.
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah, it's an entire article just in the fucking headline.
yeah. So two student loan borrowing companies, Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency and Granite State Management and Resources, have shuttered their doors in July and will be shutting down their loan services in December. The first of the group, PHEAA, has already said that someone else has taken over their loans. This has actually already happened to me, where one of my loan borrowers went, I believe it happened, it went to Great Lakes, even though it was someone else beforehand. So I was really hoping that it would be one of mine, but no, it wasn't.
I'm through Pennsylvania Higher Education Agency.
Cool.
I hope it goes away, but I think actually I probably should get fucked over somehow.
Right. Well, so what's interesting about this article is that it goes on to say that there needs to be some really big reforms made to student loans, which is correct. A lot of them do. There needs to be huge. There needs to be huge reforms because about 80% of applicants to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program will be denied.
Yeah, have you heard?
That seems like an amount that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always been like a fucking like they made the system broken when they invented the system, and then like it's basically just a fucking computer system that just says, have you made perfect payments for whatever it is, 5 to 10 years or something, and if even one payment is off, the computer just replies denied. So like if you just like lose a payment in the mail, or if you literally if you fuck up one, I believe it's if you fuck up one payment in the entire decade you have to have done it, they deny you. So it's something like I want to say it was like, ooh, how many was it? I looked this up when I was doing my campaign because the entire system needed an overhaul. It was something. It was like 1% of people who applied got it, I think, or 0.01.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Number of or I think it was 8 people total or something. Number of people who got loan forgiveness. Let me look this up. Actually, I want to.
Okay.
Actually,
It's
no.
actually
Do
called
your
loan
thing.
forgiveness, spelled LOAN, LONE,
Oh,
because
yeah.
one person
Yes,
gets
just
it.
one person. Well, okay. So the Education Department has already enacted $9.5 billion in targeted student debt cancellation, but has yet to act on Biden's campaign promises of canceling $10,000
Here it
in
is.
student debt per borrower, along with forgiving debt for minority communities, which I guess
I would like that. That's the amount of my debt. It would be nice.
I have about $30,000, and I'm also a minority. But guess what? We're all technically minorities because we're all queer. So like, I bet you.
And you know what? We're workers.
If you
just because there's more of us doesn't mean we're not minorities.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
If you cry and beg enough, like maybe they'll just be like, all right, fine, fucking queers, just get your loans forgiven. Anyway, Charlie, what are you...
the fucking blue hairs are at it again with the cost of living.
It appears to have gone up since the last time I looked at it. It's as of 2020, 3,376 applications have been approved out of 150,545 borrowers that have submitted 196,000 applications for public school.
Oh my god, that's like 1%.
It's 1.5%. Yes.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe the reason for that is this is the thing is they basically just say, oh, it's a computer glitch. Because we didn't mean to like screw you over that badly, but the computer basically just decides whether or not you get accepted or rejected based on your payment history, and if anything is even slightly off, you just get automatically rejected. So even though 150,000 people, any given, they're all eligible, but you can't have it because you fucked up once.
Debt austerity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's run this as shitty as we can to make it even shittier, so no one even tries.
Well, because I believe,
and then we can get rid of it.
I believe when Biden was running, he was specifically saying we're going to overhaul that because it's not right that people are getting rejected because like there was just some computer error or a bank problem or something got fucked up or maybe you lost your job for a week and that's wrong. And then obviously has done nothing, of course. And I think that's sort of what the article here in Business Insider is trying to get at because it says. We hope Biden will live up to his campaign promises of reforming student loan programs like the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which is projected to deny 80% of applicants for at least another 5 years without reforms. Basically, I believe they went in there and like pushed a button on a computer that made it so more people were not being rejected, but didn't fundamentally change the problem of if you screw up once, you don't get it, and you have to do another 10 years.
Well, it's not only that. So Biden has put aside this like $10 billion. However, the totality of student loans is 1.7 trillion. That is that is like a small percent. It's
extraordinary.
Yeah,
that's an entire forever war.
Yeah, that's. We could have gone to Afghanistan a second time with all of this money.
All of those people. Yeah, I'm in the JD Vance school. I'm going to tell people if they want to fight in Iraq, we've got to forgive the student loans.
Yeah. But like it's I can't do that math, but it's a small fraction.
It's a pathetic fraction, yes.
Right. In like here's the thing. $1.7 trillion is just kind of like hanging over, pretty much everyone in this call's had like the sword of Damocles.
I don't give a shit about it. I'm not paying a single fucking cent of that back.
Yeah.
I'm specifically
like my credit score's dog shit, but like, what am I gonna do about that?
I have to pay.
Who cares?
My credit score is actually pretty good because I have no income and like
you have this.
I rely on someone. I just have debt, but I have debt that's covered by right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's being covered by another income. So
right.
Yeah, it's a healthy debt.
I don't pay on my student loans. I told them I make $0, and they're like, "Oh, well, that means I guess you owe us $0." And that's been going on for a while. And they also keep sending me emails saying the public forgiveness period during COVID will end and you will begin paying. And I'm like, no, I won't.
I'm sure I will, pal.
I'm getting angry emails from Sally Mae telling me that I have to start paying my $3,000 back pretty soon. And that's the only one that I'm actually paying back because my mom is the co-signer on it. And I'm like, man, I don't want to.
That's fair.
I don't want to fuck up her credit because then my stepdad's going to be mad at me.
I don't want my parents to be mad at me because I didn't pay my student loans and Mom, I'm working on the revolution.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm kind of pissed about, but it's very predictable, is that Betsy DeVos, when she was education secretary, got rid of the student loan forgiveness for public school teachers. And
cool.
For anyone who's been paying attention, I am trying to become a teacher, and that has not been reinstated in the Biden administration, despite Jill Biden being a public school teacher and kind of hoping that people get into public school. Not only that, but like California is always in shortage of teachers. Since the law was passed, like, I think back in the 90s, there's a state cap of how many students are allowed per classroom, and it's
just
30,
always broken.
Yeah, it's 32 students on average. California classrooms have 35 students.
That makes sense.
Like, legally, there's too many students.
Say, heck, Texas also has a teacher shortage, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I have to, like, pledge allegiance with Israel, and I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that here. I just have to pledge allegiance to the American Constitution. Don't pay attention to my Twitter feed, potential employers. But why doesn't the state of California go ahead and try and forgive my loans for becoming a fucking teacher here or something? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there you go. How could you have student loans? You're a teacher. Duh.
Uh-huh. I'm just going to tell my kids not to go to school.
I didn't even graduate college, and one of the colleges I went to told me I should really just not go to college because it doesn't seem like I'll succeed, and I still had to pay them. That's not very fair, I think.
No, like, can I get like do I get a receipt?
I want a refund.
Like, can I get a refund? I have the receipt. Like, you're right. I didn't do well.
Yeah, I'm like, this was a bad idea. I'm done now. I would like to walk away with only like $4,000 in student loans instead of this extra $5,000 you gave me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I could ever go back in time and give myself, my 18-year-old self, advice about, finance, school, all that, it would just be buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh,
and
God.
I know this seems counterintuitive, but also stop being a libertarian.
You just say, I will let you have this incredibly good currency trading tip if you stop reading the Mises School shit.
Not even that. Because I don't read. I didn't read then.
Right.
I don't read now.
Libertarians don't read.
If you stop going on 4chan, I will give you this hot tip. And then, bada bing, bada boom.
I'm going to put a time lock on your computer that will let you go back on 4chan for a 1-month period during this time of year once.
And it's just a trade. Bitcoin.
That's self-care, y'all.
Yeah, that's important. That's a very special kind of fin doming, like some sort of like Finex chastity.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bitcoin, we get to actually talk about crypto because Zach isn't here to.
Yeah, let's fucking rip that shit.
Yeah, Zach isn't here to be like, oh, Bitcoin's not actually a currency. It's it's a ledger. It's like, yeah, whatever. But
no, that's a blockchain. No, that's blockchain, and fuck blockchain. We don't need a trustless fucking ledger to do anything. We have to learn to trust each other again.
Yeah, I was gonna say is like, I guess a ledger in theory is good as long as everyone has access to it and can easily access it. But then again, it's like, what's the point then? It's created a solution for a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah. And if there's any neat point to it in the future, it's thousands of years from now when we could actually do it. And you need a fucking nuclear plant to run it. Why would you do that?
Right. So there's
literally burning thousands of tons of uranium just because you don't want to have to trust your neighbor.
Correct.
So a lot of stuff came out about crypto this week, and I think it has to do with El Salvador officially adopting Bitcoin as a currency. Now here's the issue with El Salvador. So their leader, I forget his name. Let's find him.
John El Salvador.
El Salvador.
It's him, the Salvador.
He is the savior. He is... What is his name? What is his fucking name? Oh, Nayib Bukele. So President Bukele has, I think it was in May or June or July, said that they were going to integrate Bitcoin as an official legal tender in El Salvador. To kind of like, it's clearly to like get tech bros.
Oh my god!
Global capital, pay attention to our country.
I just looked at a picture of Nayib Bukele. Like, what the fuck?
He looks like a tech bro.
Like, he looks like a tech bro, just standing there like wearing like a leather jacket over a white button down, a perfectly trimmed beard that probably has like some like beard darkener in it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
dudes rock.
A backwards...
slicked back hair. This is like this guy is like what would happen if like Elliot Rodger just like got what he wanted a little more.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But so Bukele is also known to bring in the military to into Congress to force laws. So he's a dictator.
Yeah. Okay. So Elliot Rodger is a good comparison.
Yeah. No.
Elliot Rodger's a great
No.
comparison.
So the problem with El Salvador adopting Bitcoin is, you know that like Bitcoin's on the internet, right?
I've been told as much. Yeah.
Well, most people in El
Oh, is
Salvador.
that what the bit means?
That's what the bit means.
Most people.
Not to be confused with Bitcoin, the one that you eat.
Yeah.
A lot of people make that mistake.
Mm.
So most people in El Salvador don't have access to the internet. It is a third world country where parts of it don't even have power most of the time. And
So the United States.
If it is legally a tender, that means if someone tries to pay, like the guy selling roses on the street in Bitcoin, he has to accept it or be thrown in jail. So, the little old lady selling pupusas has to accept Bitcoin on her, like Android phone that probably barely runs, whatever, Chrome instance that they have. Who knows that if that even can access some sort of wallet or something.
Right, and then you finally figure it out, you find a way to accept it, you have to work closer into the city to even be near the cell towers, but it's working now. And cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, famously very easy to get money out of and turn it into regular fucking money.
Right, well, and here's the thing. So the other currency... Oh, and then most people deal with hard cash in El Salvador.
Yeah, it's not like you're going from a debit card to full crypto.
Yeah, that would be going to full crypto in America sounds like a nightmare because of the amount of people that use cash still. In a country where nearly everyone still uses cash, that's an issue. But do you know what kind of cash they use in El Salvador?
It's dollars.
They use the American dollar because they do not have financial sovereignty. They don't have their own currency.
They literally. I remember the day they switched to the American dollar. I personally had to do a report on it in school at the time.
So they don't have both forms of legal tender are not sovereign to El Salvador. They can if there's because governments do have to do this from time to time and they have to inflate or print more money to make sure that people don't go hungry. They have cash to spend. They can't do that at all. You especially can't do that with Bitcoin because we've mined nearly every Bitcoin. The rest of the Bitcoin will be mined probably by the end of 2025.
All right, cool.
So I do believe.
What do you think they're gonna?
After which point I no longer have to hear about Bitcoin.
What do you think will happen? Do you think it'll stabilize, or do you think they'll just collectively decide they're gonna just increase? Are they just gonna come out? They'll just come out with another one. They'll just come out with Bitcoin 2 and start over, and just say these two have an equivalent exchange rate. Bitcoin 2 is pegged exactly to the price of Bitcoin 1.
Wow.
Oh, I can't wait to see how wildly that one goes from $1 to $50,000 to negative 30,000 in a day. I believe this is why Bitcoin has kind of been everyone always talks about Bitcoin, but this week it seems like they really it kind of really ramped up, and I do believe it is because of El Salvador. The Gravel Institute released a really good video about Bitcoin and just crypto in general and how it's basically a Ponzi scheme at this point.
Yes.
And how it because everyone who has it is just using it for speculation. Very few people actually,
use it as a currency. Yeah,
they don't actually buy drugs on the internet.
You can't. Every single thing that promises to convert it back into a functional dollar or a usable currency is just also a scam. There's even using it as a currency feels more dangerous because once it's in there you can't get it out, but at least if you're just using it to make shitloads of money, you can just be wow, I have $10 million in Bitcoin now, and I'm just but how many of those people have actually got it out?
Right. I mean, at this point, I might as well just exchange all my Bitcoin for Robux because I feel like that's more stable.
Yeah, you can at least convert that back out into dollars at a pathetic rate. Like,
yeah.
hey, if you got $10 million, you can at least convert that into. You get $1 million, you can get $350,000 out of the Robux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that'll work.
And so the Financial Times published an article that we can't read. So this is only like a few quotes of it because it's not free. So
I tried
this off.
very hard to get this article to unlock without agreeing to pay them in 4 weeks, but I couldn't do it.
You're not doing a little fucking inspect element magic?
No.
Tried that?
I didn't try that.
Oh.
Should we try that?
Let me flex this. Then
yeah, let's try that.
Let me burp directly into the mic and then give this a shot.
While you try it, I'm going to go ahead and read the quote from this article, "The Cult of Crypto," by Siddharth. I'm very sorry, Siddharth. I'm going to butcher your last name.
You can do it.
Venkatara Krishnan and Robin. Well, thanks, Robin Wigglesworth.
Oh, okay, Robin, they're fucking with you, Robin Wigglesworth. Come on.
Well, anyway,
Financial Times is British, right? That's a very British name.
Yeah. So thanks, Siddharth and Robin, for this article. This is a quote from the article. This is a quote of a quote. Crypto is essentially an economic cult that taps into the very base human instincts of fear, greed, and tribalism, combined with economic illiteracy as a means to recruit greater fools to pile money into what looks like a weird, novel digital variant of a pyramid scheme, argues Stephen Deal, a crypto skeptic software engineer. Although it's all very strange because it's truly difficult to see where the self-aware scams, true believers, and performance art begin and end. Crypto is a bizarre synthesis of all three, which is kind of what you've said, Charlie, is that like we just need to trust each other because we aren't trusting each other.
Yeah.
I think Stephen put it in like so many more words, but yes, it's
I just want I look, you don't have to be a fan of a state necessarily, but if there's one of those things you don't want, it's anyone anywhere being allowed to mint their own currency. Mm-hmm. And for it to be technically valid somehow. Whereas
it's about as valid as any other you're gonna find.
Do you know well, but do you know why this crypto shit sucks specifically for me? Is because it's I'm working this out as I'm saying it, but it's like, okay, so you've got this thing called crypto. So it's this sort of system that produces a token that we say is a currency, quote unquote. And so anything it's like there's this code that's sort of functionally a currency printing machine. If you build a machine that has this code and then run it, or the software or whatever, whatever comes out of it is a currency. You can tweak it and change it, but as long as its fundamental building blocks aren't there, you can just say it's cryptocurrency. Which would be because in a regular fucking country, you have mints and printing presses, and you use those to print currency. It would not be like. It would be like if you got your hands on a printing press and anything that you could get out of that printing press was a currency. No, there has to be one specific thing from a specific press, and that press needs to be under some sort of lock and key to some degree. Not because it's just maybe currency is not the best system, but it's literally, okay, it's just saying if I get a machine to mint anything into a circle and stamp a face on it, that's legal tender now. That's ridiculous. Right. Which I guess is a scam that right-wingers run. They print a Trump coin and say in the aftermath, this gold will be... Yeah, it's basically if you stamp a face on gold, it's worth something now and usable as tender. I figured it out. It's the same scam.
That's since fucking 4000 BC when the good Lord created the earth.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it's worked.
But that's why we have a legal tender, and then say the rest isn't. So there's some control over it.
If you put a face on a circle of precious metal, fucking bada bing, bada boom, baby, you got civilization.
There's a YouTuber, Qualia Redux, who did a really good video about crypto from a left-wing critique that didn't necessarily just focus on the environmental impact that I thought was really good. And guess what? I'm going to go ahead and put that in the description as well so you all can see that. I thought it was really good. But here's another quote from this Financial Times article. Though its lack of a single leading figure and its amorphous online footprint marks it out from traditional cults, some say the cryptocurrency movement bears a striking resemblance to another progeny of the digital age, the QAnon super conspiracy. Quote, both have doctrine passed down by the mysterious unknown founder, puzzle solving and internet meme culture, and lots of prediction about politics/economics that are completely unfalsifiable, says Deal. They're both rooted in this ideology that claims to oppose a common enemy, corruption and untrustworthy intermediaries, and both see the internet as a way to finally eradicate those problems in some great apocalyptic event. Again, just sort of this idea that, like, we can't trust one another.
Well, and they're pointing to the common problem, which is intermediaries. I wonder if there's an economic system we live under that produces infinite numbers of intermediaries.
just more and more piles and stacks and layers of, like, just useless bullshit.
If only there was a person who wrote about intermediaries being, like, just bullshit. I wonder if there was a pamphlet or, you know, a series of essays that I could listen to so I don't have to actually read that, you know, are freely available. I'll go ahead and put that in the link, too. You can go ahead and listen to Stafford Beer. The Stafford Beer, I mean, we read it on stream, but they're really good, and it's an easy listen, too.
Yeah, it's short.
It's pretty short. It's like an hour or something, 2 hours maybe.
I don't know. I think we spent like weeks on it, but
yeah, it could be 6. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was like 50 or 70 pages or something.
Yeah, it's really not that
short,
long, but we're slow readers.
Look, the Lego set said, you know, 4 to 6 years, and I finished it in just a couple months. So, bloody fucking da.
You were sitting on that one for a while, weren't you?
I mean, that's every fucking, you know, meme. But yeah, no, I think this is kind of a common thing, just not with crypto fandom, not with Q fandom, which fandom is the word that hops into my mind for both of these right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, just generally with the internet, conspiracist ways of thinking, when you know, can very clearly tell, hey, the world's fucked up and bad right now. And it doesn't seem like the people in power are doing much to fix that.
Yeah.
But, you know, since you lack, like, class consciousness or, like, an understanding of, hey, you know, the reasons the world sucks is because, you know, someone somewhere is making money from it, or you get to that point and then deduce, like, oh, it's lizard people doing that, obviously.
It's like, no, you're just so close. Yes.
It's like, you get it, yeah, shit sucks.
It's corrupt at the top, there are corrupt intermediaries, yes, this is all very bad. It is not the Jews.
Yeah, can't stress this enough.
It is not
like,
the Jews. Like, it is not.
Yes, like, some of the global capitalist class do happen to be Jewish. There are plenty of them, however, who are not Jewish, and it's like, alright, what then, hotshot?
Some of them may be Jewish, but you know what they all are? They're all rich.
Yeah.
They're all capitalists.
That's the thing they all have in common, is that they have fucking money.
You gotta just grab people by the hand and walk them through this.
Yeah, you really, and that's what we're doing. Just for those couple of listeners we have who are just like, this is news to them. That, like, wait, it's not the Jews.
Sure.
Yeah, the people who clicked on the Goatse tag and were just like, oh.
Yeah, hypothetical anti-Semitic Goatse guy. This one's for you.
He's like, hey, these guys, they really know their stuff.
They're opening more than just my eyes.
And that's what we call fanny flutter, folks.
Oh, God, thank you for that one.
Should we hit on this Bill Maher story, or save that for whenever?
Yeah, fuck Bill Maher. I can shit talk Bill Maher.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't think we've quite hit an hour anyway, so yeah,
Bill
Maher.
We'll link you a bunch of videos about why crypto sucks. Pack it into this episode so that when Zach comes back, we can just pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and put them in your watch later list, and you know.
Actually,
and then put them on while you're doing the dishes, because that's what YouTube is. That's what YouTube it was designed for.
Yeah. I think Zach would actually be most offended that we keep saying that, like, they're really into crypto, because I think they would actually be like, no, it's the blockchain that has interesting possibilities.
I mean,
And I say,
sure.
fuck cryptocurrency.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the two are inextricably linked, so...
Yeah, they really are. Like, what's the... One, they were designed together, and...
Again, blockchain is just solving problems that don't exist.
Literally making up problems to solve, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, folks.
Another person making up problems to solve.
Yeah, I mean, talking about, like, I mean, we were mentioning, like, you know, Jon Stewart shit. Like, you know, there's also, you know, in the same milieu.
It's amazing that Bill Maher is still here.
Yeah.
And still going, and people listen to him. Like,
Right?
I keep watching clips of him, and he's not funny. He's smug. And whenever I meet someone who unironically says they watch him and like him, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right, like
No, well, because you see, you gotta have something for, like, the Gen X, like, formerly new atheist and now kind
Old
of epic
atheist?
bacon trad guy.
That was actually my next question. Is the stuff I'm seeing, because I never watched him in the past, is the stuff I'm seeing today different, or was he kind of like Jon Stewart-y back then? Because like Jon Stewart didn't
not particularly, but the mask slipped a little less.
Yeah, because like Jon Stewart didn't age well, but it's more just like, oh, you hated trans people and would make a racist joke occasionally because we weren't there yet. And Bill Maher is like, everything I'm seeing is just,
well,
we
Bill
need
Maher...
to hate
same old,
people
yeah.
who aren't white because they're a threat to me.
Well, yeah, no, Bill Maher was kind of Jon Stewart-y, but, like, you know, he said fuck a lot more. And
Oh,
could,
I
like,
get
away
it.
with
He's just...
Well, because that's what being edgy was back then.
Yeah.
Was you said fuck.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. He was just the edgy Jon Stewart on HBO. I get what's happened. He's just chasing whatever makes the money. At some point, the Jon Stewart thing didn't make him money, so he's gone a little Tucker Carlson.
Right, and the thing is, like, Jon Stewart, I think, is probably, like, evolved in his politics a little bit. He's still, you know, I assume is a progressive person.
Well, you
like,
want to know how you know Jon Stewart is involved in his politics? He's not sticking his face out and saying anything anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, I would probably consider Jon Stewart maybe, like, a progressive, where Bill Maher is clearly just a neo-lib.
Yeah,
like,
I could meet Jon Stewart in person, and I think I'd feel like, here's a warm, kind of nice guy who doesn't quite have it all together, but is nice. If I met Bill Maher in person, I'd feel kind of like meeting Dracula or something.
Like,
just like, you know, Gary Oldman, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, but like the fucking Bram Stoker, Gary Oldman Dracula that also quotes South Park at you.
Yeah. So why are we talking about Bill Maher?
Why? Jesus.
Because fuck him.
No,
but there's an actual reason.
There's a story
beyond
here.
Just fucking his vibes.
Yeah, Bill
Dog
Maher.
shit.
Yeah, Bill Maher criticizes the NFL for playing the Black National Anthem. This is a story by The Hill, written by Celine. Oh God, sorry, Celine. Castronuvo. No, I did that right.
You are
okay.
Killing it with the names tonight, my man.
Sorry, I just picked the worst articles with like people with very, very long and difficult to pronounce last names.
Yeah,
it is not my fault. I only speak English. That actually is partly my fault. I could study Spanish a little bit better.
That is your fault, and that is America's fault.
Well, yeah, because they were racist. Like, racist society forced my grandparents to think like, hey, maybe we shouldn't teach our kids Spanish, so they fit in.
No,
better.
it's actually your fault, and I think that you, Dennis, are
society.
Dennis, you are segregation by another name.
That's true. So
speaking of racist society, why don't you explain for you know the ignorant folks who maybe listen
blessed
to this
listeners who don't know
this conversation?
shit
I will
about
not say. You know, some background on the Black National Anthem.
Right. So, this I'll just read this directly. HBO's Bill Maher on Friday took aim at the NFL's decision to play "Lift Every Voice and Sing," long considered the Black National Anthem before games this season, calling it, quote, segregation, but under a different name.
Jesus.
Now, here's the thing. The NFL has a long history of covering up things that they fucked up. They've done quite a bit of pink washing. shortly after it was found out that a bunch of their players were probably getting brain damage and beating their wives. What is that? CTB? Cranial?
CTE. Yeah.
CTE. Yeah. It causes people
CBD.
to be CBD. No, CBD does not cause you to be violent. CTE does. And,
Make sure you pick up the right
CBD,
bottle.
CTE, nootropic stack. That's really that's really the only way to kick off your weekend.
Right. So they partnered with Susan G. Komen. Good old Suze.
The dubious titty nonprofit. Yeah.
To pink wash during October, because their players were found to be contracting CTE after taking hundreds, if not thousands, of hits to the head and causing their brains to expand with blood and causing them to have violent shifts in personality and potentially be beating their families. Interesting how they would do that. Not to say that the people who, not to say that everyone who was beating their wife was CTE induced, but quite a few of them might have been
avoiding getting canceled because I just no, look at all the brain damage I've got.
Yeah.
I'm in the clear.
So it's funny that the NFL would do this during their 2021 season after not having Colin Kaepernick on any teams. Interesting how they now all of a sudden want to seem progressive again.
Yeah, weird how the rich keep taking these protests, just making the protesters out of sight and then co-opting them and saying we did it.
Right.
Wild how that works. Yeah.
They also congratulated their secondly openly gay player. Everyone tends to forget that Michael Sam was their first openly gay player, who went from first round draft to about fourth round draft because he came out during the draft and was bounced around from team to team until he finally had to end up playing in the Canadian Football League, and then I believe he is retired from football now.
Which, considering what we were just saying about CTE, probably better off.
Yeah, probably better off. But their current new gay player, who is often now touted as their first openly gay player, it's no, Michael Sanders.
It's like a Disney thing where it's oh yeah, this is the first one, yeah.
Right.
It's our first openly gay player we have personally congratulated for being gay.
Yeah.
A fucking weird thing to do.
He is not white. I believe he's Middle Eastern, but he is very light-skinned. Again. Yeah, his last name is Carl Nassib. I don't know. That could be anything.
You get one, though.
Yeah.
You get one minority status, and if you get... they had to, bleach him a little bit to, make sure, hey, man, listen, we're just doing this for the fans, because they're real fucking weird.
That's so gross, but that's kind of honestly true with the way they do this shit.
Yeah. So, anyway, Bill Maher made this statement about...
that guy.
Yeah, what I'm saying is neither one of these groups is correct. This is the NFL is clearly doing some PR stunt. But Bill Maher is old enough to know what segregation was. We looked it up beforehand.
That's how he's an expert.
You're right. I'm sorry.
He's seen it. He helped his dad do it.
But I remember my grandfather telling me that when he would go on dates with my grandmother, they would have to sit in the peanut gallery because they were Mexican at the movie theater and this is in California. The floor seats were whites only.
Yeah,
but it wasn't every theater, but the one theater that they could go to because it was the local one. That's great. So segregation has affected my life kind of indirectly through stories from my grandfather, but also very directly redlining. There's a reason why my high school 15 miles away from Los Angeles did not have a TV, radio, and film program, but the high school in the rich Mormon city, the city over, did, and also paid for everyone's SATs.
Jesus.
Where I had to pay out of pocket and still failed.
I mean, that's the going to Harvard and then failing after they give you a scholarship. You did the right thing.
Right. I mean, I went to community college for 10 years and finally got a BA.
That's pretty good, honestly. It's better than I did.
Hey, I mean, it saved myself about $5,000.
There
Nice.
you go.
But I mean, like, this is clearly what segregation actually is. Not that you all need to know. Like, you're very aware of what segregation actually is. But this PR stunt.
No, go on. You're opening my eyes about Bill Maher.
Well, I mean, Bill Maher's just kind of been on like he really, really hates Middle Eastern people.
He really does. That's his thing. That's his only thing now.
Well, again, going into how he's just a 2006 ass dude. That seems to be the theme for this episode.
Also, like,
is that he never really left behind that anti-Middle Eastern racism.
No, literally.
What you did back then.
Yesterday on 9/11, the tweet of him going around saying it is the fault of Islam that this happens. Like, he's still just an epic atheist shithead.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course,
Dick Dorkins style fucking kind of asshole.
This is the real end of history. There is no more culture. It's just people clinging on to whatever they had.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is you can just kind of pick a time and roll with it. Like he's like one of those like rockabilly people on Instagram, except instead he's an epic, fucking 2006 epic bacon, atheism guy.
It's just it's so odd to me because like his new scapegoat is trans people. Like,
is it really? I haven't even heard that.
No, don't bother.
I mean,
it's all the shit of like, oh, the left's going too far with asking me not to be a piece of shit.
Yeah,
is his whole gimmick for the past couple years now.
It's trans people and and then of course like just the easy pot shots at conservatives and like calling like like people in Texas, like the Texas Taliban, not knowing
oh my God.
that Islam actually allows for abortions. I just always find that so funny. They're like, everyone's always like, oh, what they're doing in Texas now, that's like Sharia law, and it's like, no, like actually, like, yes, it is.
No, this is our shit. This is our fault right here.
This is solely American because yes, it is indeed a religious order trying to go ahead and push its laws on people, but Sharia law actually does make exceptions for abortion.
It's like, this guy is so far in the past. Like, he sees someone wearing like a niqab or whatever, and then he sees like an American conservative woman in like an entire full face of makeup that entirely obscures her face and is just except for her eyes also, and is so far behind I can still actually make the joke that wow, this dude doesn't see how that's kind of similar sometimes. Like, he hasn't even progressed to the point where he's doing like hypocrisy takes and shit yet. Or like, wow, maybe America should improve a little too. Like, he's not even there. Which I think is an unfair comparison because I'm expecting him to be like a Jon Stewart-y type, but he's actually more of a like Fox News type.
Right.
He's Dick Dorkins is what he is.
Yeah. Also, he's anti-vax.
Really?
Yeah, he's anti-vax.
Hey, he's a skeptic.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Even though fully, just like Fox News, HBO has definitely given him the vaccine. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you he's vaccinated. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he probably got like a series of headaches after it from like sitting under hot lights for a while he was still kind of like feeling the effects of it, and is like, wow, that really inconvenienced me. It fucked me up.
The only one of these grifters that I don't believe has gotten the vaccine is Joe Rogan because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, he's fully an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, you gotta at least, like, he's not following any particular, like, this is the difference, is Joe Rogan is not following a particular trend. Joe Rogan is just literally taken in by whatever the last person says to him. Whereas, like...
yeah, like, he's full bonobo brain, where it's just like, oh, yeah, dude, that was a great conversation. I am now forming my entire personality around it.
Oh, incredibly just, like, 6-year-old hanging out with their 15-year-old high school cousin
Yeah.
Like, and like just now all about like heavy metal because that's what their cousin listens to. Like it's like just easily impressionable.
Yeah, he literally says all the time, like, how he thinks it's so important to be, like, having conversations and just getting knowledge. And, like, that's his only, like, moral value, is I just want people to say things to me because I just want more information.
Is evergreen. This tweet's evergreen. It's the fucking Mayan cell phones one, you know?
The what?
Like,
the fucking, to try and rattle it off the top of my head, is when I was a kid, you didn't need Joe Rogan because your best friend had a 27-year-old brother who lived in the basement. Was a total fucking loser and would sit, smoke a bunch of weed and say shit like, "Oh, the Mayans invented cell phones." Some of them have blacklight posters in there too.
Okay,
I don't know, but
yeah,
it's it always applies. There's never gonna be a better summation of Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Rogan, Tolkien.
Rogan, Tolkien.
That's a good display name if anybody wants it. I'm not a Hobbit kind of guy myself, but
But anyway, we have Bill Maher, who instead is just sort of an empty vessel into which the most lucrative sort of intellectual grift can be poured.
Yeah. Anyway, happy vaccine mandates, everyone, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, not quite yet, but as that evolves, we're gonna get more and more just absolutely fucking hilarious stories out of that.
Oh, like my mom probably quitting her job or something.
Yeah. This is the real labor shortage. This is the real general strike finally taking the country by storm. Just people, just absolute fucking chuds quitting their jobs. Don't even work for companies with, over 100 people. They're just quitting their jobs because someone somewhere is mandated to get a vaccine.
Also, this is just a quick one that Sam just sent me. Sam's the best source of all my news. Sam just scrolls through Twitter like a maniac, probably shortening his own life.
We've been there.
That's for your content.
This is new as of 5 hours ago.
Okay.
Which is funny because it starts with 2 weeks ago. Thanks, Brian Tyler Cohen. New 2 weeks ago. Okay, great. Delta announced a $200 monthly surcharge for unvaccinated employees. In that short time, 20% of the unvaccinated employees, 4,000 people, got the vaccine, and the number of employees who quit, 0. So,
hey, if you don't want to get the vaccine, form a union.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, form a union. But also, I don't like that Delta is charging $200 to people. That's fucking.
That's
sucks.
An extraordinary fuck you. They shouldn't do that. This actually deserves a union, and then the union should vote to make everyone get vaccinated anyway.
Yes, please. That's the only people well, we want to protect you.
Workers' democracy.
Yeah.
Or honestly, why? I mean, airports are big enough. Why couldn't they just set up a vaccine clinic in an airport?
Probably. Yeah.
Just mist you with mRNA whenever you go through the scanner.
Missed you with mRNA and estrogen just to force fem you, but also make sure that you are COVID free.
Yeah. You can't enjoy those beautiful boobs if you're dead from COVID.
That's very true. Oh my god.
We got to make sure your chest is beautiful inside and out.
Just some great lungs. All right, well, folks, that about wraps it up for us today. If you made it this far, you are a true comrade. Thanks for sticking around. Our beautiful friend Bo here would like to shout out all of our patrons. Bo, take it away.
Hell, I'm gonna do this in a simple country loyal voice. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's fucking horrible.
The Monkey Trials voice.
Now, see here, I may not know what a Patreon is, but I'm told it's quite economically advantageous for us. Thank you to Jorge, the Warlock Phosphorus, Aaron, Alex, Brubes, Caleb, Dylan, Eli, Jack, John, Lizzie, Malwin, Olive, Richard, Rufus, Samantha, Scott, Tim, the brilliant Dr. Fly, Tyler, and Reverend Londo. Thank you all so much for throwing money at us.
Yes,
let us know how you like the fucking Patreon episode.
Yes.
A lot more about 9/11.
A lot more. We didn't really touch on it because, how passe. But
yeah, I mean, by the time you're listening to this, it's already fucking Tuesday at least.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't know what your podcast backlog is
if we even do.
You're listening to fucking.
What did I do? I just released 4 episodes last week on Wednesday and
fine.
Thursday and maybe Friday. I don't fucking know.
Fucking
It's
Pod
okay.
Yourself a Gun comes out like every Tuesday. How are we gonna compete with that?
I'm gonna edit the episodes, so they'll come out on time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And if you want to become a patron, you can for $1 a month or $5 a month and get access to our bonus episodes of every show, of all of our shows every week, as well as exclusive access to other projects like Sonic High School or Dolphins and Garages. You're going to get that early. That's our D&D podcast. We have 3/4 of the hosts on right now.
Wait. That is respectively our bad fanfiction reading and D&D podcast.
Yes. Oh, and then Gigo, of course, which is Kelton.
Gigo, of course.
Kelton's very hilarious movie review podcast. It's honestly a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah.
But Dolphins and Garages, guess what? Episode 7 is going to come out early on a listening party. And it won't be available in the Patreon until the end of the month like normally. But we are planning on a listening party. We just got to get the time and place. The place is definitely Discord. The time, we don't know yet. But the
time is a time.
Yeah, we'll tweet about it. Don't worry about it. We have a really great episode of Dolphins and Garages coming up. I've finished editing it. I'm quite proud of the storytelling group that we got here. I just got to bug Artemis to get us down for our next episodes. Those come out like whenever because it's hard to schedule.
Scheduling D&D is tough, yeah.
But I really appreciate if y'all listen to it. I'm giving more time to Dolphins and Garages than I normally would because Zach isn't rushing me. Thanks, Zach. Zach's also really loved the show too. I don't know why he keeps texting me about it, being like, "When's the next one coming out?"
Yeah, because it's fucking good.
Yeah, it is.
And you can listen to it too.
Yep, nearly.
You can be just as obsessive and like way into it as Zach is.
Yeah. Also, check out our Redbubble where you can get some official merch of a bunch of different Psychic Dolphin Garage stuff, including Dolphins and Garages art brought to you by Twitter user I'm a Boy. Lots of big beefy boys.
Yeah, very good, very bara. Yeah, it's fucking wonderful.
Mm-hmm. They are really great. And then all that stuff will be links below. So yep, that's it for us today. So we love you all. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hey, you in a tiny suit. Hey, you, we will be taking it loose. Hey, you little mood didn't move us. We're not the shakers and move us. We're who you wanted to lose. Hey, you in a tiny suit. Hey, you, we will be taking it loose. Hey, you little mood didn't move us. We're not the shakers and move us. We're who you wanted to lose. We lived a lot, ain't a lot of us living. They been on my top since I got out of prison. I give them a piece of my mind with this nine, and I bestow upon them my knowledge and wisdom. Blink on the oppie, don't stop me, I'm grooving. You saw the cutter and started like Ruben. We are the other, the sort and the cut. Every word that you uttered is utterly stupid. You get your news from the corporate cable. Back in that budget, the butter, your bagel. Lying, deceiving, misleading, finagle.